What is going on, Cardano Nation? Welcome to Dapp Central. My name is Fareed, breaking down all of the latest news and top builders in the growing Cardano ecosystem. As a part of today's video, I want to highlight the weekly Cardano development report and then touch on some of the biggest changes we've seen going on in this ever-changing ecosystem. So first things first, I do want to quickly review the development report, followed by a brief highlight surrounding Project Catalyst and funding round number 11, which is set to kick off within the next 24 hours. Following that, I want to talk to you guys about Cornucopias, a potential award nomination, and the fact that they've now put out a new build to their OG testers and influencers regarding their racing. Now, after the Cornucopias game, I want to talk to you guys very briefly about RareEvo. I just got off of an interview with Wes, Rand, and Devon, all members of the team that puts on this event once per year. We just saw their second annual event, which took place at the Gaylord Rockies, and they've now given me so much alpha, not only about the venue, but about everything else that we can expect when it comes to the launch of the third event taking place in Vegas. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Now, after that, I want to briefly touch on DexHunter, quickly becoming one of the go-to places for swaps and DEX aggregation on Cardano. And then I want to jump into WingRiders, and they have recently updated their platform to be much faster and a little bit simpler. And then last but not least, I want to jump into some monthly stats surrounding the Indigo protocol. So quite the list. Everything has been going so quickly, especially after coming back from the Dubai summit, where so many projects had major announcements. I'm still trying to get a lot of interviews wrapped up and pushed out. And of course, I've got these news updates to also put out at the same exact time. So without any further ado, let's jump into the very first topic for today's video, which is going to be the weekly Cardano development report. So we've got 148 projects launched, over 1,300 builders, and now nearing 11,000 smart contracts deployed on the network. Looking at some of the key highlights there on the left-hand side, the Lace team continues on enhancing their multi-delegation feature. And I also want to quickly remind you guys that IOG, or Input Output, has recently also picked up the Nami wallet from Alessandro. So they're now going to be working and taking care of two wallets, arguably Nami, the biggest wallet in terms of usability and user friendliness, and then Lace, which is aiming to kind of get its name up there in terms of one of the go-to wallets when interacting with the Cardano community. Following that, we've got some upgrades or some progress being made with Mithril and P2P, followed by Intersect, which is now having more than 150 members signed up for their member-based organization. So this is being done in preparation of SIP number 1694. And I want to give a quick shout out here to Patrick Tobler from NMaker, who was actually on the call, and he documented the entire process of what actually happened. So I'll go ahead and quickly pull that up here on the screen. But I believe that they will be having additional calls here, and they're actually going to be going through a member picking process for chairs on the committee for the Intersect MBO. Following that, we have an announcement surrounding Project Catalyst, which is now being refined in terms of funding round number 11. I just released a video earlier today highlighting 3 key changes that I'm going to jump into in just a moment. Last but not least, the education team keeps working on Marlowe material. Marlowe is going to be a drag and drop or Lego style smart contract builder, really aiming to simplify smart contract development on Cardano. So the fact that we're getting more and more educational content out surrounding that is a huge positive. Jumping into the next tab, I want to dive into Project Catalyst a little bit further. So earlier today, I released a video breaking down all of the latest changes coming out as a part of the latest funding round. If you're not familiar with Catalyst, it's a way for builders in the ecosystem to get funding utilizing the Cardano treasury. Now, some of the biggest highlights here are going to be the fact that funding round number 11 will be kicking off on November 16th. And that's when we're going to start to see submissions being able to be made from proposers. Now there's going to be a total of 50 million ADA, which is the same exact amount that we saw going out in funding round number 10. Now there's going to be three pieces of news that I want to briefly mention here. Number one is going to be the fact that there is no longer going to be any downvoting available in this coming funding round. There was a pretty big issue there when it came to downvotes being taken advantage of or misused in that latest funding round. So that is going away, and you're only going to have the ability to either vote yes or abstain from a particular proposal. Number two, there's going to be some brand new categories for challenges. So previously we had 13 different categories, some dealing with DAO creation, some dealing with SPOs, some dealing with products integrations, etc. Moving forward, they're going to have two separate categories. One is going to be called Cardano use cases, and then the second is going to be called Cardano open. As a part of Cardano use cases, you can put up a proposal for something that is still in the idea or concept phase, or you can put this into the solution phase where you have some sort of working product, but it's in the early MVP stage, or you can put it in the very final stage where you actually have a functional product and you're looking to gain additional funding in order to add more utility to what you already have existing. Now within Cardano Open, there's going to be two simple tracks. One of them is going to be for developers, and then the second is going to be for the ecosystem. In terms of funding, we have 22 million ADA going towards Cardano use cases. We've got an additional 21 million going towards Cardano Open. And then we've got, let's see here, 3 million, which is the remainder of that 50 million going towards Catalyst system improvements. So those are going to be the first two big updates there. I believe the very last and probably the major update here surrounding Catalyst is going to be the fact that you can now only be included as a lead for the last 5 or 5 total proposals. So in the last round, we saw some members trying to game the system by basically adding themselves as leads for over 20 to 30 different proposals, which is highly unlikely that they'll be able to deliver on that. And in order to kind of curb that behavior, the CF is now going to only be accepting the most recent 5 or the last 5 proposals in which you're listed as a lead or co-lead for the actual submission. So that will take us there through the very first piece of news here surrounding just the network development and Project Catalyst. If you want to find out more about Project Catalyst, I did release a fully dedicated video, which I'll leave linked down below for you guys here in order to find out more about those particular updates. Jumping into the next topic, I want to briefly touch on the Cornucopias game. So this team continues to build. They have released their launcher to their OGs and some influencers. And the latest update that we got from this team was the fact that racing is now available, and the team has also given the green light to influencers to begin sharing their content out with the community. So I'm going to be doing my due diligence, getting familiar with all of the latest updates. A lot has changed since their appearance at NFTLV, and then I'll begin streaming here in the next couple of weeks. Now, the first piece of news here is the fact that the Cornucopias team can be nominated for an award. And this is going to be the People's Choice Award at the Games Awards. So there's a pretty simple process, and I'll just kind of quickly walk you guys through it here. First things first is going to be to visit the games.gg website. From there, you can create an account and then actually choose your favorite games, of course, which we're going to select Cornucopias. And then you can just quickly explain why you'd like to nominate Cornucopias and then provide their links to their website as well as their Twitter. Again, it's a pretty simple process. Here's the official website. I'll go ahead and leave the link to it down below. But once you're here, you can select the favorite game that you want to nominate. Again, you can create an account or sign in through Google. And then once you do that, you'll be presented with the list of potential nominees, which Cornucopias game is one of those. So hopefully the team is able to get the recognition that they definitely deserve as they've been building. And it's not just here within Cardano, but they've been building a really awesome community and really kind of setting the standard when it comes to Web3 and Metaverse. The next piece of news here is surrounding a creator that's been creating a ton of content, and he's become a prominent figure within their community, and that is going to be Scruffy. I've had the pleasure of hanging out with Scruffy at multiple events now. We met very first time last year at the NFT LV event in Vegas. I got to hang out with him again in Denver, Colorado for RareEvo, and then for a second time at NFT LV in 2023. Now, Scruffy has been helping out the team, and he's now going to be actually joining the team as a member. So congratulations to Scruffy here. Big piece of news, I'm sure, for him and the entire Cornucopias community. One thing that I want to just quickly say is that this shows the testament that the Cornucopias game takes when it comes to watching who is contributing to their particular community. We also saw Steve Cornpops also kind of come into the game, or to the team, I should say, through a very similar route where he was a moderator and then he basically was brought on full-time to contribute and to actually do this as a full-time gig. So this team does not take their community lightly, and this is just another example. Now, last but not least here, I do want to go ahead and just quickly roll some footage. This is going to be coming out from Kopi Board. So shout out to all the up and coming content creators. I can definitely relate. I was there about a year and a half ago. Definitely keep going, Kopi Board. If you guys are not already following him and you're within the Cornucopias community, please make sure to do so. I'll leave the link to his YouTube channel down below. But what I wanted to highlight here is the fact that there is now the ability to actually race. This was a feature that was only given to people to test at Colorado or at RareEvo, and then again in Vegas at NFT LV. That said, the actual racing build is now available. If I jump over here, I do believe that we will see some racing action here being done by Kopi Board. And again, this is now in the hands of the community. So this team continues to iterate. Obviously, this is not available to the general public just yet. But if you do hold certain NFTs when it comes to their vehicles, their land plots, etc., and they're of the correct rarity, right, which I believe right now they've inducted mythics, you can get access to this early portion version of the game. Now, as a friendly reminder, keep in mind that Cornucopias is not just a racing game. This is just one of the portions that's going to be available for the metaverse. So we can expect different activities such as mining, which has only been available at some of these in-person events, but hopefully that also comes out to the general public in the near future. So I'll definitely be again streaming this very soon, not only just the metaverse in which you've got the Toledo Valley Raceway area, but also the actual racing that you guys see here being presented by Kopi Board. That will take us there through the very first segment of today's Cardano Scoop. As always, if you guys do enjoy these types of updates, I would appreciate you if you could tap that like button. If it's your first time stopping by Dapp Central and you want more content like this surrounding the top builders and contributors to Cardano, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions for me surrounding anything we've touched on so far or anything that we're going to be talking about, then feel free to leave a comment down below. The very next thing I want to jump into is going to be surrounding the RareEvo conference. So I just got off a 45-minute interview with Wes, Rand, and Devrin, all reps from the RareEvo conference. If you guys missed this event this year, it was such a blast. A lot of big creators, a lot of exhibitors, a lot of speakers, and just an entire overall great event. So that said, they're going to be planning and getting ready for RareEvo in 2024. And I just got some pretty big news surrounding the fact that it's going to be in Vegas, but exactly where, you'll have to wait to actually watch my interview. So hopefully within the next couple of days, I'll have that out for you guys in the community. But I wanted to highlight the ticket information, or that the ticket pricing is now available. So just like last year, there's going to be the GA or general admission ticket. There's also going to be the VIP ticket, and then there's going to be some gamification along in the process. So these tickets will not just be purchasable online, old fashioned, but they will also be available as NFTs in a partnership with Newcast and the RareEvo team. On top of that, we did touch on just some of the potential guests that will also be in attendance. And I can definitely say that it's going to span outside of just the regular crypto or Web3 space, with pretty big names that are known within Web2 that will potentially be attending the RareEvo conference as well. So I wanted to quickly give them a plug here. I'll leave the link to their official website down below, but definitely stay tuned for that upcoming interview surrounding everything that they have to offer. Jumping into the next piece of news, I want to quickly talk about DexHunter. So DexHunter is going to be the go-to place now, at least that's what it seems like, when it comes to Dex aggregation. So they now have enrolled more than 50 partner dApps to build on a DexHunter. This is really amazing. This team continues to be integrated and they continue to land more and more partnerships. If you guys missed my last updates, I believe this team now has over 40% of all the different swaps taking place on Cardano going through their Dex aggregator. I've personally used it myself, and the experience has been extremely smooth, no hiccups or issues, and I've always been able to save. So if you're going to be swapping for more than a couple thousand ADA, I definitely recommend checking out the DexHunter protocol. Now, to be fair, there is going to be another Dex aggregator coming out in the near future. I'm not able to talk about it just yet, but I definitely will be giving it some coverage once that comes out as well. Now, jumping back over into DexHunter, this team also recently released their integration dashboard, which makes it super simple to basically customize the DexHunter interface and integrate it into any protocol. We saw it integrated into the Block Investment Group platform. We saw it integrated directly into Tap Tools, and then we also saw it integrated into the Working Dead NFT platform. So this team is just warming up. It seems they continue to build, they continue to deliver, and everything seems to be going in their favor in terms of the community's response. Jumping into the next tab here, we have a partnership here, or at least a potential listing, I should say, when it comes to CoinGecko. Now, this is going to be a whole nother conversation, but there seems to be a lot of eyes kind of looking at CoinMarketCap. And the fact that they're trying to extract liquidity from people looking to list their tokens on their platform. So again, I'm not going to harp on CoinMarketCap. That's going to be a separate video. But I know that there's been teams on Ergo as well as the MinSwap team that have incorrect information on CoinMarketCap. And they're having issues to get that updated, or at least getting it updated without having to pay a hefty fine or a hefty fee. Now, again, pivoting back over into DexHunter, this team has just recently requested to list their DexHunter token, or their Hunt token, their native governance token, directly on the CoinGecko website. So hopefully within the next couple of days, potentially weeks, I'm not really sure how long it takes for these listings to occur. We should begin to see the Hunt token listed on CoinGecko. Last but not least, when it comes to DexHunter, we're now going to have the ability to export your order history all in one click. So if you're making swaps, which again are going through multiple dexes, it's probably really hard to keep track of all of that, especially for tax purposes at the end of the year. If you've made some profit, even if you made some losses, right? It's always just good to keep track of all that information. So now with DexHunter, you're able to get a quick export of your order history in order to keep track of all of your trades. So that will bring us there to the end for that particular news piece. Jumping right over into the next one, I want to quickly touch on the WingRiders protocol. So the WingRiders team continues to improve the performance of their front-end user interface, as well as the performance of their batchers. I did touch on a recent upgrade to their batching speed, which I think provided a 4 to 5 times faster experience when it came to providing swaps or executing swaps utilizing their protocol. Now, more recently, they've also upgraded their liquidity and pool pages. So they now state that there is faster access in page navigations for pools and farms. They've also made speed updates for easy and faster application management. So I'll leave the link to WingRiders and their particular protocol down below if you want to go ahead and check those out. Now, moving over, they've also improved their APR calculator, which is now live. So calculations are now carried out in the backend to create a new and improved rendering speed on the front end. So a lot of time and a lot of effort going into simplifying and speeding up the entire user experience on the WingRiders protocol. A really cool thing to also keep in mind is that they are going to be launching, I believe, the WingRiders Pro, which should be coming hopefully within the next couple of months. We also saw MinSwap announcing MinSwap Pro, and then of course you just got the launch of AxoTrade recently within the last month or so, which they're also going to have a beginner or advanced feature as well. So a lot of dexes right now really trying to take it up a notch, provide more value, more utility, but also a more advanced trading interface. Last but not least, I want to quickly highlight the fact that we also have the WingRiders team preparing to have liquidity pools for the Dust token, which is going to be the native governance token for the Midnight Network, which is aiming to be the first ever partner chain utilizing the Cardano settlement layer with their own consensus mechanism. So it states here, in light of the upcoming Dust airdrop, which was announced by Aaron Barak and Charles Hoskinson at the recent Cardano summit in Dubai, the WingRiders team is excited to work with Input Output HK or IOG to make this a seamless experience for their liquidity provider. So as soon as they're ready for the airdrop, it looks like the WingRiders team is ready to go ahead and open up liquidity pools to potentially facilitate the trading of the ADA and Dust trading pair. So that will wrap it up there for updates surrounding the WingRiders protocol. Now, as we get ready to close out today's video, I do want to jump into some news surrounding the Indigo protocol and their latest monthly stats. So if you guys are not familiar with Indigo, they're going to be a synthetics protocol building on Cardano. They've launched IBTC, IUSD, and IETH. In terms of their TVL, they have now become #1, overtaking MintSwap, which was the leader in terms of dominance in the market for the last year. So quite a big achievement here. And they now have over $49 million US locked, and that has gone up 25% in just the last month alone. The biggest gains in terms of TVL came in the form of IUSD, which saw an appreciation of 27%, followed by IBTC with an appreciation of 22%, and then last but not least, IETH with an appreciation of 16% in the last month alone. In terms of their iAsset market cap, that has also gone up 17%, again with IUSD leading the way, followed by IBTC and IETH. In terms of the total number of collateralized debt positions, or CDPs, that did kind of stay stagnant. So just a minor 1% drop. So not necessarily a pretty big drop there. But we did see 1% increase in terms of IUSD CDPs. And then we saw a decrease in both IBTC and IETH CDPs. In terms of their stakers in the month of July, we saw 1,600. I shared a chart not too long ago basically highlighting how much Indy has been staked, and that just continues to move up and to the right. A huge testament to the believers in this particular protocol building on Cardano, and rightfully so. They definitely deserve this. They've been building a lot, and they've been able to get things such as governance, their CDPs, staking, and so much online since their launch late last year. Now, moving over to the right-hand side of the chart here, in terms of liquidated collateral, we did see over 380,000 ADA liquidated. We also saw an increase, or an APR of 24% when it comes to their stability pools for IUSD, followed by an APR of 27% for IBTC, and then last but not least, IETH with a 28% APR. I believe that will do it here for today's Cardano Scoop. I do definitely appreciate you guys sticking around. If you made it this far, I would appreciate you if you learned anything along the way, if you could tap that like button. If it's your first time stopping by Dapp Central and you want more content like this surrounding the Cardano ecosystem, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions for me surrounding anything we've touched on as it pertains to RareEvo, Cornucopias, DexHunter, WingRiders, or Indigo, then please make sure to go ahead and leave a comment down below. That said, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.